Hello, everyone. My name is Jake Goldbass, and I'm the manager of education programs for the Kupferberg Center for the Arts at Queens College. I'm super excited to be here this evening with you all. We have made it to December. It is December 1st in a calamitous year, and I'm so thankful to be here with all of you to work with an incredible artist named Susan Werner. And this is the first of a program that we're doing, a series called In Focus. And In Focus, through the Kupferberg Center for the Arts, is going to be a series of conversations, masterclasses, and all access looks into the lives and careers of world-renowned artists. And the first, this is the the initial inaugural evening of this program, and we're really thrilled to have with us world-renowned singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, incredible vocalist Susan Werner. Woo! I know you can probably only hear me clapping right now and other people's hands moving, but there's a raucous applause from out there. And so this evening, we're going to hear from Susan about kind of her journey in music up until this point, some performing, also working with two incredible students from the Aaron Copland School of Music at Queens College. We have Charisse Roberts and Samantha Constantino. I'm really excited to hear both of them sing. I heard them a little bit earlier today. They sounded amazing. So we're going to hear first from Susan, and then we're going to work with Samantha and Charisse. So I'm really excited. I'm throwing it over to Susan. Welcome, Susan. How are you?
Good, Jake. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, do you want to start by playing something or talking? What do you think? Why don't we let the music speak a little bit? Yeah, let's do it.
Don't work with your friends. Don't work with your friends. It's fun in the beginning, but the trouble never ends. Don't work with your friends. Don't sleep with the boss. Never sleep with the boss. You'll never turn a profit and you'll take an awful loss. Don't sleep with the boss. You know, I've always been amazed at the various and sundry little ways people screw up their lives by disregarding simple common sense. Oh, the consequences are severe from what I hear. But how would I know? Don't hire your wife, not your husband or wife. Would you rather have an argument or rather have a life? Don't hire your wife. Whoa, the consequences are profound when it all comes down. I've seen it happen to decent people. My God, it's awful, so very painful. Okay, it might have been me. Don't count on your kin. Never deal your kin in. Not your brother or your mother or your own conjoined twin. You never can win. Don't count on your kin. Do you want a life? Don't hire your wife. Think profit and loss. Don't sleep with the boss. Here's where the song ends. Don't work with your friends. Thank you so much. That song called
Woo!
Don't Work With Your Friends, also known as Career Counseling 101. And yeah, that's a song I wrote. That's on a project called Eight Unnecessary Songs, songs no one wanted, no one needed, and yet here they are. Here's a song. I'll sing another song and then we can chat a little bit. Here's a song from a project of songs I wrote to sound as if they might have been written by Cole Porter's smart mouth little sister, Colette Porter. And she believed there were not enough songs in the Great American Songbook from a woman's point of view. And so this is Colette's contribution. Coffee, ham, and eggs. I can be your diner. Tired, aching legs. I'll be your recliner. When you need a breath of air, I'll be your balcony. When you need a laugh, I can be your joker. Cut a loss in half. I can be your broker. 'Cause all of that and more you have been for me. Mm-hmm. And I'll be the release when the pressure's heightening. I can be the grease when your wheels are tightening. And when you need a dance, I can be that old soft shoe. I can be your girl through the best and worst time. But I can't be the girl you notice for the first time. There's so much I can do, but I can't be new. And when they're buying you steak, baby, I can be the gravy. When they throw you in the lake, I can be the Navy. Be that 3-day leave, I can be that bad tattoo. And I can be the sky, the very wild blue yonder. Still I can't catch your eye when it starts to wander. As I've seen it do, oh, at least a time or two. I'll be anything for you, baby, but I can't be new.
Woo-hoo. Thank you. Thank you, Susan.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Yeah. So I figured, before we jump into some performances from Charisse and working with Samantha and Charisse, um, would you mind just giving us kind of an overview of just what the last few years have looked like for you? I mean, everyone's life changed this year, but what has really been a silver lining for you? I mean, we know you've had this amazing long career in the arts, and I really want to talk about kind of some of the things that are the secrets to your success and what, how you can pass that on this evening. But really, I would love to just hear about, just the last couple of years for you and how we've gotten to this point.
Well, thanks. And first of all, hi, everybody out there. And I'm trying to bear in mind all of these screens coming in from all over the New York area and maybe around the country. I'm trying to like a medium, take it all in and feel you, right? That's what a
Right.
performer does, right? We take this in, right? Imagine it's all coming right through there. um when Jake says I'm a world renowned artist, I don't know about that. I do good business in Des Moines, and I'm from Iowa, so, and I'm related to half the audience, so that plays a role there. But for those of you in your class who don't know me, and you have no reason to, so I'm a singer songwriter. I perform at places like Joe's Pub in the city or City Winery, and places like that all around the country, coast to coast. Um, to talk about this year, so a lot of my life is being gone. A lot of airports, a lot of rental cars, and that kind of thing. And I had a full calendar for, of course, the summer and spring and summer and fall. And the pandemic just, boom, came down like a, kink. And everybody who had live shows, everybody on Broadway, everybody live performers, it just went like this, right? Garage door came down. And I had a really good, I've had on my staff, I just kind of pay a consultant every month to do a few online things for me. And she had said, you should do a live stream. And so I decided to do it that first Sunday night, right after, I think it was March 13th or something, everything kind of shut
Hmm.
down. And I've become comfortable with this point in my career with being a Sunday night act. You can imagine what that means, right? When I was younger and hotter, right? So then I was a Friday and Saturday night act and all the, right? Because I had a major label record deal, and you can see photos of me younger and more glamorous looking. Um, but I've become comfortable with this idea of becoming a Sunday night show. What that means is that there's something friendly, accessible, fairly wholesome, even if you do swear some. But somehow it's not rock and roll. It's not headbanging music. It's more friendly. And so I made a guess that first Sunday night, that first week, that I should go on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And that has turned out to be the one big thing I got right this year, because my audience has been able to find me every Sunday night. I do a 1 hour show, or 75 minutes, from 7 to 8 Eastern time every Sunday night. And I have now about 500 people tuning in every Sunday night at that hour. And I put on a different show for them every hour. And it's like,
Wow.
in your world, I guess it would be like a cabaret artist, right? Who has a themed show. And so I did this past weekend, I did songs of near and far. And then weekend before that, I did songs of Thanksgiving, right? And so I'll include my own songs in there, but also cover songs. Um, and this has been really successful. And it's just a tip jar. It's just Venmo and PayPal and tips. And because there is no
Amazing.
subscription service, it's not Patreon, right? There's no subscription service. I'm a folk musician. What does that mean? That means everybody should be able to access it, right? That's
Mhm.
that's the match. That's the monetary match for my brand. Is somehow this is music for everybody. You can make music with everybody. Everybody should be able to see it. There's probably at least 50 to 100 people watching who are either on fixed incomes or out of work, um, or again related to me. And so those people do not, those people are not putting money in, and that's fine. I'm happy with the show
Yeah.
being accessible to everybody. So that's what I've been doing every Sunday night, and this next Sunday will be the 39th show. um,
Wow.
and
Congrats.
it's really
That's epic.
wild. It's been really wild, Jake. I gotta say, I did not know this was going to happen this way, but every little gig I ever did in like Boise, Idaho,
Hmm.
where like 10 people came. Okay, so there's like 3 of those people actually watching every Sunday night. I mean, all of that
Amazing.
running around somehow, right? 3
It's
people in
amazing
New
that yeah,
Braunfels, right?
it's amazing that you jumped right into it that first week.
I feel so
Um,
lucky that I had somebody
yeah,
who said to me, you know what, get on, just get on and do it. And
yeah,
sometimes being poised to act when there's a big shift in the marketplace, that
true.
can
Not
be
necessarily, yeah, not being reactive, but really just proactive with,
right.
yeah,
And don't
with
get it
what you did.
perfect. Just be first. Just be early.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just be early. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Well, just so we make sure we can hear from everybody, and I know we're going to cover a lot of ground tonight, I would love to toss it over to Charisse Roberts to hear from you. Please tell us, a little bit about yourself, who you're studying with at the Aaron Copland School of Music, and what you'll be singing this evening.
Hi everyone, my name is Charisse Roberts, and I'm currently a junior voice performance major at the Aaron Copland School of Music, and I study with Dr. Sherry Oberholt. And tonight I'll be singing Joy by Ricky Ian Gordon. went to look for joy, slim dancing joy, gay laughing joy, bright-eyed joy. And I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy. I went to look for joy, slim dancing joy, gay laughing joy, bright-eyed joy. And I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy.
Yeah. Woo.
Thank you.
Give it up for Charisse. Yeah. Woo! Gives this young nymph joy. Gives this young nymph joy. Right? Is that what's going? You're a nymph.
Yes.
You're a nymph. That's a good gig to get. If you can be a nymph, that's a good gig to get. So you have a voice like a cannon. Wow. Boom. And I wish we were in a room, right? A room with like wood walls so we could just be like, what is happening? Fantastic. Would you do me a favor and help me? So first of all, this song is by Ricky, guy with three names.
Ricky Ian Gordon.
Ricky Ian Gordon.
Yeah.
Okay. And could you just say for me the first couple, just say the first couple lyrics so I can kind of get a vibe for what he says.
It says, I went to look for joy, slim dancing joy, gay laughing joy, bright-eyed joy, and I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy.
Awesome.
Yep.
That was awesome. I love that you understand everything that you just sang. Because some people sing and they don't know what the hell they're singing. They're just making like noise, right? They're just making noise. I love that you know that. And I love that you are singing that and we can understand that. If I could ask you to do one thing for me, which is play the music and then say the lyrics without any pitch. Just say I'm calling you on the phone or something. Okay? So play the music and then just say the lyrics when they show up. Just say them like you're talking to me. No pitch at all. Just like, oh, you just thought of this sentence and you're just saying the sentence.
Okay. In rhythm?
Yeah, in rhythm.
Okay. I went to look for joy, slim dancing joy, gay laughing joy, bright-eyed joy. And I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy.
Beautiful. Okay. Now I want you to do it. Now let's do it again. And this time sing it. But sing it as if, sing it. Let's try this. Sing it as if I'm not sure what the words are.
Okay.
So help me understand the words, like I have a hearing disorder a little bit. Okay. So help me, not in terms of being loud, but just in terms of here are how the words go. Okay? Like maybe just bring your volume down like 25, 50%. Make sure I can understand those words as they go by. Help me a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
I went to look for joy, slim dancing joy, gay laughing joy, bright-eyed joy, and I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy.
Good. Stop. Good, good, good. That was amazing. That was just amazing. That was amazing. That's incredible. What do you think was happening there?
I was over articulating my words in my head, at least.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but me over articulating in my head made it sound correct in real life.
It made it sound like you, just like when you talk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It made it sound like you. And I am so interested in hearing Charisse. I'm like, right now you're talking to me. I want to know that person. And when you were just saying it like that, I hear you say those words. I hear that you sing the words more like you say them. And that gives them the personality of you. And that's part of what gives them their power. That's part of what gives you your power. Is that it's the page and it's that song and it's those words, right? But when you say it as you would speak, it carries your personality. Would you keep going from there or do you have to start from the beginning again? Because there's yeah. Tell us as yourself, right? Just like you were. Tell us as yourself what these lyrics are, what this story is. Because I'm fascinated by this nymph.
And I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy.
Beautiful. Can you do that segment again? And not listen to yourself.
Okay.
At all. At all. Help me understand those words, okay? Help me.
Okay. Such company as keeps this young nymph joy. Such company.
Don't listen.
Such company.
Tell me. Yes.
As keeps this young nymph joy.
Great. And the idea is you have a cannon of a voice, right? Absolute cannon. But sometimes you just need a bow and arrow, right? Just or like a slingshot. Just take them out. Bing. And then, let the other stuff happen as it happens emotionally. But you have got so much to work. You've got so much ammunition of all of these kinds that if you just communicate with us, and you will already be making the decisions about how loud, how big. That's all going to happen unconsciously because you are so busy, Charisse, telling us those lyrics that it's just coming right through to us. It's so powerful.
Thank you.
We recorded this, yeah, Jake? Yeah, we did? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think you might want to hear what happens when you tell us these lyrics. It's like, it's just like, whoa, like the audience we cannot resist it. We have absolute no resistance to someone who owns themselves and tells us something from the bottom of their heart, tells us. and that you can sing like this, you can trust all that. You got that all. That's all on automatic, Charisse. You got all of that going. Do you want to keep going for us to the end?
Yeah.
I mean, we were almost at the end there, right? Okay.
I went to look for joy, slim dancing joy.
Yes.
Gay laughing joy, bright-eyed joy. And I found her driving the butcher's cart in the arms of the butcher boy.
Good. Don't listen.
Fresh company.
Tell us. Tell us.
Fresh company, as keeps this young nymph joy. Such company, as keeps this young nymph joy.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is
beautiful.
awesome. And it's just, I really believe that the audience members cannot resist this. When you just come to us and tell us exactly these things from the bottom of your heart, I believe we just fall over dead. We cannot resist that. It's awesome, Charisse. You got it all going on. I'm so excited for you and excited to see what you do in the years ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your feedback.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Epic. Yeah, let's jump over to Samantha Constantino and hear from you, Samantha. Who are you studying with at the Aaron Copland School of Music, and what will you be singing for us this evening?
My name is Samantha Constantino. I am in my sophomore year at Aaron Copland School of Music, and I'm studying with Rosemary Krause. I will be singing Nice Work If You Can Get It by George Gershwin. It's from the musical Crazy for You, which my brother actually performed before everything went on. So he was in the show. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Epic.
Holding hands at midnight, neath the starry sky. Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try. Strolling with the one girl, sighing sigh after sigh. Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try. Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how? Oh, just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how?
Yeah. Samantha, swinging it hard on a Tuesday night, live from, where are you, Samantha? Where are you?
I am on Long Island right now.
Where are you on Long Island? Like about where? Like if the island is this big, like if the island is like this and here's New York, are you like?
I'm pretty right in the middle. I'm in Suffolk County, like
Bayshore?
Smithtown, Jeff, Comac, around there.
Bayshore? Ronkonkoma?
I I am a little closer to the North Shore.
Up here.
Yeah.
Up here. Got it. And then, so did you grow up on Long Island? Are you home now? You're home
Yes,
now.
I'm home.
You went to you went to high school in Long Island?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And have you ever been to Montauk?
Yes, a couple times.
Oh, do I have to go to Montauk? Because I've never been there. Is this something I have to see once or not really?
Yeah, just once. I would definitely go once.
Just once.
Yeah, because the sunsets there are magnificent.
Okay. And then, so I see the sunset. And then isn't there a ferry that goes up to like Block Island or something? Or up to Connecticut or something?
Yes, the Port Jeff ferry goes up to Connecticut.
Have you done that? Have you done the ferry?
Yes, I have.
And it was worth it or no?
I liked it. I feel like I don't go to Connecticut that often, but it's a good trip. There's
Okay,
a lot of
and
little
then-
shops and stuff by the ferry when you go up.
There's shops and little shops and stuff by the ferry when you go up.
Yeah.
Is that a car ferry or just a passenger ferry?
Car ferry.
Okay, car ferry. Okay, so Samantha, I'm going to ask you to do something, which is a little bit like what I asked Charisse to do, which is I would like you to do this. Just say the first verse of that song that you just sang. What are the words? How does it go? Don't sing it, just say it.
Okay. Holding hands at midnight beneath the starry sky. Nice work if you can get it. You can get it if you try.
Okay, so I'm going to call you on, I'm going to pretend call you on the phone. Okay, so do a dumb phone like this. Do a fake phone with your hand. Ready, Samantha? Doing it. Okay, I'm calling you. Hey, Samantha, how you doing?
Holding hands at midnight beneath the starry sky.
What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? You're holding, what are you doing? You're holding hands.
Yeah, I'm holding hands at midnight beneath the starry sky.
What is it? What is the weather like?
It's pretty good. It's nice. Nice work if you can get it. You can get it if you try.
There you go. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna ask you to sing like that. Like the words just came to you, almost like, you ever seen like, like TV anchor people, right? I know you don't, this is dating me, but the idea is that the words come up on a teleprompter. Do you know what that is? A teleprompter? Yes. It's a thing. Okay. So let's do the song again. And you don't know what the line is that's going to come up until it shows up exactly 2 seconds before you have to sing it. Okay. As if you've never seen these words before. And then you're like, oh, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's try that. Line by line, they suddenly appear.
Okay. Holding hands at midnight, beneath the starry sky.
Yeah, just tell us.
Nice work if you can get it.
Yeah.
And you can get it if you try.
Now what happens? Tell us what happens.
Strolling with the one girl, sighing sigh after sigh.
Yeah, good. Tell us.
Nice work if you can get it. And you can get it if you try.
What happens now?
Just imagine someone
good.
Waiting at the cottage door.
Tell us now what happens.
Where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more?
What happens now?
Loving one who loves you. And then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it. And if you get it, won't you tell me how?
Yeah. So I want to hear Samantha, right? I want to hear Samantha. This song, whatever, nice work. That's nice. That's a nice song, right? Frank Sinatra sang it. I don't care. Frank's dead. I don't care. I think he was a loser anyway in his personal life. But I'm saying, I want to hear you, just like you, tell us exactly that. Like someone like from Ronkonkoma. Did you say you're from Bayshore? No. You're from
No, I'm from Smithtown.
You're from Smithtown. Okay. Yeah. Samantha from Smithtown. That's who I like hearing more from. I like hearing from her. Okay, can we pick it up where it was then? And you're gonna there's a little instrumental piece in there or a little scat sing?
Yeah, there's a little I just ran through the form twice, so I did a little bit of scatting in it. It's definitely not my specialty, but I wanted to mix it in.
Have fun with it. Yeah, do it. Do it for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more?
Hold on a minute. Samantha, so I want to take I have this idea that I should take what are those things called? Flowbees, right? You know what Flowbee is?
I'm not sure if I've heard.
Flowbee is like a haircut thing.
Okay.
All right. You can cut someone's hair with the Flowbee. It's just this you put it on a vacuum cleaner and it like cuts your hair, right?
Okay.
What I mean, a shearer. How about a shears, right? So I want to take shears and shave off your top 15 IQ points. I'm just going to shave them right off, right? I'm going to cut them off. And here's why. Because sometimes we check to make sure we're doing great. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, is this good? Is this good enough? Oh, is this good enough? And what I'm seeing happen is you'll sing a phrase, da, 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 and then taking that vow. You check on the long note to make sure you're like, is that
Okay.
yeah, right? You don't have that editor. That editor person, we don't need them. Tell us, just like yourself. Don't listen, don't check it. Just let it loose.
Okay.
Okay? Let's do it again from the scat sing, or you can do it from the top if you want.
I'll go from the scat.
Okay. Don't listen to yourself at all. Your
Okay.
ears, you don't have any ears anymore.
Okay.
Your ears don't work. Okay.
All right. Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving the one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how?
Yeah. Do it one more time from the top. Do it one more time from the top. And look at the camera and help us understand those words, just like we did with Charisse. Just help us a little bit. Like, English is not my first language. Okay? Look at that camera and help me understand those words. And you just let it loose.
Got it. Holding hands at midnight, neath the starry sky. Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try. Strolling with the one girl, sighing sigh after sigh.
Yep, help us.
Nice work if you can get it,
Yeah.
and you can get it if you try. Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how?
Yeah, keep going. Swing for us. Swing it.
Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door.
Yep, tell us.
Where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how?
Yes, I believe her. I believe her 100%. She's awesome. One thought on scat singing. This is something that somebody taught me in school when I was in school. They're like, it sounds like people are just making things up when they scat sing, but actually they're working off patterns. And like, you will hear scat singers, somebody like Kurt Elling, a freakazoid person, amazing talent, or even Ella Fitzgerald. Like, she had riffs. and she would have the riffs handy and just sort of plug them in, right, in a scat. So what appears to be spontaneous is actually a set of like 20 patterns, and you just plug them in. So you might want to do a little listening to scat singing, and you'll be like, oh, that I can plug that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll keep slotting them in different every time you sing it, but you'll have the materials handy to lay against the chords in ways that you might not know you can do, but you're already suspecting that you can do. So some listening there will really, I think you'll be like, oh, that's how you, because we can give you your IQ points back now, and you'll be listening to that. You'll be like, oh, got it. Samantha, that was terrific. That was great. And we met you. I love that.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Samantha, give it up, friends.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Susan, now we have some time to open up the floor to some questions. If anyone watching has any questions at home, I know I have some questions just to kind of get the ball rolling after watching you work with Charisse and Samantha. I was really thinking about how comfortable you are singing and how you're able to make a situation feel so comfortable, and we've all been in so many Zoom rooms this year. And I think it's a tough room. It's a tough room to be charming in.
Mm.
And I wonder,
Mm.
what are some things, or what's a part of your ritual that allows you, when you're not feeling like turning on the charm in a certain situation, what are some things that you might do, or some advice that you could give to any vocalist or any artist watching this about how to engage a room in a really genuine, authentic way?
Thanks for that question. And we don't know the kind of night that anybody's having, right? We don't know what kind of day or night anybody is having. They may be having a really terrible day, and especially right now in the pandemic, there's lots of people not having a good day. And I think part of our connection with people is to just be present, just really be present, be right here, be for reals. Um, um, and I do imagine that, this person is really just right. Here's the camera, right? It's right at the end of my arm. It's only like 3 feet away. But if you imagine that there's a person right there, and they need to understand what it is that you're saying and what you're singing, and that you have to remember to make eye contact with them. Just like if you're talking to a person, if you look away the whole time when you're talking to somebody, they think you're a jerk, right? So like even right now, just, thinking and then coming back to make sure you got it, right? Make sure you got it. So keep tracking that person, just like you track somebody when you talk to them. I mean, unless you're like, what do they call this, fabbing, when you phone somebody, you're right, you're with somebody, but you're doing this the whole time. I mean, part of what we do as singers is we do tune in on that person, no matter where it is else we look, right? So maintaining the sense that there's a person right here, right
Yeah.
there.
And
Over.
how's that different, when you're in person? Like, say you're at Joe's Pub or City Winery, and there isn't like that one person, but
Mhm.
there's an audience. How do you engage? Are there any things that you always know you have in your back pocket just in case you feel like you're losing the room?
Just look at them.
Right.
And sometimes just stop. Like we feel like we have to be busy doing something all the time. But sometimes just sitting there and actually looking at people for a half sec, because you're not doing anything, everyone in the room will turn and look at you like, what's wrong with her? Right? That's
Right.
incredibly powerful, is just do nothing.
Mm.
And it centers the place, and it centers you too.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think, who was it? Mabel Mercer, I think, the cabaret singer, who said, my job is to sing in a way that makes people at my show fall even more in love with each other. So to track a couple over the course of the night and watch them
Mm.
and see if they come in, they're smiling, they're not smiling. It's not about me, right? I mean, I'm performing, but right, there happen to be other people involved in a performance, all right? So to see a couple come in and are they happy? Are they not happy? And if they're not happy, like, are they sitting apart? Can I sing something to make them sit closer together, or laugh, look at each other and laugh? And then they start moving closer together, right?
Right.
That's, I think, to kind of track the experience one person's having. They're sitting down here having a cocktail. Are they having a good time? Are they having a good time? Watch them, right? And then I'll teach you the Susie Werner short. Here, you could do this before the virus. You can't do this now, and maybe after the virus, can't do it either. But I used to simply steal somebody's drink. I would just reach down and steal their drink and drink out of their glass, and everybody in the room like freaks. Like, I can't believe that you did that. It's the ultimate break the fourth wall, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah,
Totally.
no, I don't care. I get a cold from that person. Who cares? This show is happening now. All of a sudden, this show is real because we
Right.
stopped with this thing, right? We stopped with the idea that I'm up here and you're out there and you're safe. You're not safe. You're not safe for me, right? I'm coming after you. We're going to bust this thing down. And I'm seeing you. I'm right. This is real. This is real right now. And to go back to what we said with Charisse and Samantha about communicating, authentically communicating is just, it cannot be stopped. It's the unstoppable thing in a world of noise and people who are distracted and don't. If you're really showing up, people have no option but to tune in. So over the years, you'll hone this ability to be totally present right now, right here with these people. And that has all the energy that blows up the world.
I love that. Yeah. That's so valuable. The rumor is going around that you are a classically trained vocalist. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your classical training and how it led you to, being so kind of like fluid between genres.
Yeah, well, I
And just
wasn't good
knowing,
enough at it. Okay, that's the short story, right? I mean, una voce poco fa, qui nel cuor mi risuonò, il mio cor ferito e già whatever. Yeah. So I have a undergraduate degree in voice from University of Iowa and a master's in voice from Temple University in Philadelphia. I took some auditions after I was done. It was clear that my voice was not big enough. It was just not going to happen. I was not going to have a career as an opera singer. I mean, I really dug Frederica von Stade and the whole mezzo soprano thing, I mean, all that material, that kind of deal. And I just wasn't fabulous enough. Like, fabulous, right? Somehow I'm not fabulous like that. And so they kept hiring other more fabulous singers. And so I started writing songs again, which I've been doing since I was a little kid. And people were like, where have you been? And I'm like, nobody said that in the world of opera. They never said it. And so I found that, having several talents can kind of be the key sometimes to a successful career. Is it might not be the thing you thought that you were going to do, but it might be the thing right next to the thing. It's the other thing. It's you're a singer plus, you're a songwriter plus. And Jake, I mean, you and I talked yesterday a little bit about being a drummer and a musical director, right? There's two things going on here. Plus now you're an educator, right? So you have a couple different trains running all at the same time. And I think that's something for your students to think about, is that if these are your performers in this class, to have the plus handy. And the plus could be, I'm a singer plus I'm an engineer. I know how to do Logic Pro or Pro Tools. I know how to put together a track. Or I'm a singer plus I'm a writer. I'm a singer plus I'm a composer. I'm a singer plus I'm a piano player. I'm a singer who can accompany myself. Let me tell you that. If you're a singer who can accompany yourself, you will always make a living because you don't have to hire anybody. You keep the whole check. Right? You keep the whole check. So if you can, Samantha and Charisse, maybe you already play an instrument and can accompany yourself. But I'm saying, if you can accompany yourself, you can make all kinds of things happen. You are not dependent on anybody else to help you do your thing. If you can create your own content, I want to make sure and mention this. If you can create your own content for yourself to interpret, you have a leg up on everybody else. Anytime you can create your own platform, your own stage, your own content, your thing is much more likely to succeed because you've removed one variable. You've removed being dependent on somebody else or something in some way. So what you are capable of yourself, that makes lots of good things happen. And the fact that I can play and sing. And then it was writing these songs that made it possible. Someone came and saw me at Joe's Pub and they're like, have you ever thought of writing a musical? And I'm like, no. And they said, well, how would you like to write the score? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I've never done it. And they're like, well, we think you could write this score for this musical that we're working on called Bull Durham. And I'm like, are you kidding? And it's the baseball movie, the MGM baseball movie from 1987. And they were looking for a composer. And so they hired me and I wrote the score. And that opportunity came about because I was writing songs. And then I was playing at Joe's Pub, right? So I was performing, writing, and then all of a sudden people found me because of those things. So sometimes it's the things that you're doing that lead to the next thing. The thing beside the thing leads to the other thing, I mean to say.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, talking about like things leading to other things, we have a question from Matthew Gibbs that's related to exactly what we're talking about. And he says, "Hello, Susan. What inspired you to pursue jazz and write your own music?" Which you were already kind of getting to, but I wonder if you can just specifically speak to that exact journey of finding your voice in jazz and finding your voice as a songwriter separately from your voice in the way you had been training it classically.
Thank you, Matthew Gibbs. And I love Matthew Gibbs. I don't know who he is, but I just want to say that
He's the best.
he's the best. I love him, always loved him. So when I was a kid, one of our high school teachers took us down to the University of Iowa to Hanshaw Auditorium to see Count Basie. And I mean, it was really late in Count Basie's career, but he was there doing it. And I thought this was fantastic. This is just fantastic. So sometimes an educator gets you in front of something, right? And it lights up all the light bulbs. And that got me going with that. I had a really good high school jazz band director. I mean, in the middle of the cornfields in eastern Iowa. And I grew up on a farm. If you'd like to talk about livestock or heavy machinery, I'm handy with that at any point this evening. But
That's my next question. So
I figured you were going to ask about the difference between like an Alice Chalmers and a Massey Ferguson and a John Deere. But
yeah.
So getting someone in front of something that turns all the lights on big. And then I had a really great jazz drummer for my high school band director. He was terrific and he saw something in me and he just kept putting me out there to, scat sing and play saxophone solos and like learn the patterns. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I get it, right? Because someone gave me repeated opportunities to try it out. So if you're already in school here and you're getting chances to try these things out, I mean, try everything. I mean, take a jazz class, even if you don't like jazz, take a composition class. This is your chance to try everything and find that, oh, hey, I'm good at that too. The stuff that you stir the pot right now, you're going to luck onto two things that you didn't know you could do, aside from the thing that brought you to school here.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Samantha or Charisse, do either of you have any questions or follow-up questions before I keep going in my questioning?
Yeah, and feel free to say, Susan, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to dismiss everything that you just said. You should feel free to dismiss everything I just said.
Right. That's most of what's in the chat. I can't just say it, but she's crazy. No. No, it's fantastic. I'm really,
it's possible,
yeah, no, thankful for everything you've said so far. I'm curious a little more about kind of your ritual as a songwriter of just how do you, what are you working on now and what does that look like kind of in quarantine for you and what did it look like before quarantine? Is it the same thing? Is it different?
Yeah, it's different. Writing has been really hard now because I'm happily married. I can't be alone. You know what I mean? If you're cooped up with somebody right now, there's not a lot of privacy. And writers like privacy, and we like not to be interrupted. So this has not been the most productive part of my career in terms of generating new material. Again, writers really like to not be interrupted, right? So this has been a time to do these, online shows and to do publicity for the new record, which was mostly written before the pandemic hit. And I made a record in June in Philadelphia because the material.
Tell us about the record. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Flyover Country, and it's another concept album. The concept album before that was NOLA. It was all songs, to sound like they were written, New Orleans piano, right? And I just practiced for like months to get it, right? And then the one before that was An American in Havana, because I got to go to Cuba 3 times and wrote a bunch of songs and recorded a concept album with Cuban and Venezuelan musicians in New York. And
nice.
So I like concept albums because it kind of it gives you a place to meet an audience, even if they don't know who you are. And aside from you and Matthew Gibbs, who I've always loved, no one knew who I was tonight. I mean, honestly, right? But I have a career because, I'm able to put these things together. The Flyover Country album is another concept album, and it's all country country music sounds traditional country, and song forms that sound very much of the tradition of country music. But it also has
Mm.
songs that kind of blow up country music. There's a bluegrass song called Snake Oil about fascism, that maybe if you listen to it first time, you're like, what is that? And then you go back, oh, I like to do that, sneak the message in, like, oh yeah, this is bluegrass. I go, so like that, right? I like concept
Yeah.
albums, and I'll be working on one again once I can get a routine where there's some privacy, because to work on anything, as everybody listening knows, I mean, you have to have room to not get it right the first time. You have
Mm.
to have room to try and fail less badly, right? Fail less badly, then you don't fail. And then all of a sudden things start, right, going better because you just kept doing it a lot. So writing a song is a lot of trying, and we're not quite there, not quite there. Oh, starting to get there, starting to take shape, starting to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious, because you're such a prolific writer and you've had so many albums, you've written so many songs. Are there any songs that you write about three-quarters of the way there, maybe 10 years ago, and then you pick up that tune and finish it for another project or a sell of an idea, or you're like beginning to end, this is the concept album, I'm doing it.
No, there's so many songs lost by the side of the road. That's just my process. Some people
I
really
just
keep songs, right, for a long time. They call them trunk songs. If in the history of musical theater,
yeah.
trunk songs are songs you'd like, oh, that didn't work out, or it's done, but it doesn't belong anywhere. You put it in a trunk, and then you pull it out later because it fits some other thing. I don't have a lot of that. I kind of obsess. Like it's a language. Every project is like a language immersion course for like
Yeah.
2 years. It's 2 years intense romance with a style, and then I go on to the next one. And so that doesn't make much room for, trunk songs if you're already on to the next,
Right, right,
uh,
right. Yeah. Well, we have another question that's kind of related to this from Abril Valbuena. And she said, "Hi, Susan. How do you decide on a concept for your albums slash weekly shows?" And I kind of was having a similar thought about, how if you're going to do, you're in your 40th week of a concept show, how far do you just have concept shows until the end of time, basically? Kind of just in the canon where you're like, "Oh, okay, this week, I got it. I got
I've
another one."
always loved
Yeah.
Abril Valbuena too. I just want to say, just shout out to Abril Valbuena. Um, um, I love that name. Look, when I started this, I thought there'd be like three of these, right? I thought, didn't we
Mm,
all think this would be done in a
definitely.
month? And then we'd be doing something like what we were doing before.
Right.
And then it just kept going. So, so I started doing like, my albums. I went back to previous albums and would do a night that's all that album.
Cool.
Right. So I kind of know the material, but you have to freshen up your chops. You have to kind of play them to
Right.
bring
And
them back.
you have a lot of records, so that was like 12 weeks
Yeah,
of
that
just
that took up
concepts.
some
Yeah.
space, right? That took up some space. And then I started having guests come in.
Cool.
And then I would do a song swap with them. And then we would do a duet because I could play and record, because I learned how to record when I was working on the musical. I learned how to, write multiple parts to things. And so I'm able to audio engineer the duets with people like Jonathan Brooke, who is a great talent. If you don't know who Jonathan Brooke is, friends, I mean, she's just an amazing composer and writer, mind blowing, Jonathan Brooke. Um,
Yeah. I love her project with Joe Lowry, and yeah.
she just,
Yeah, she's
Jonathan's
incredible.
tremendous, and shows with Dar Williams and David Wilcox. And um,
Mm,
so we would do a duet. They would send me a song they did, and then I could record a piano part over it, because MIDI running right through here, right through a interface, go in and then sing harmonies on top, and just put up an iPhone and record that as I was playing the parts. And to start the video recording every time and to sync with the audio, we would do the three claps, right? So you would
hmm.
see the clap and hear it in Logic Pro. And this is stuff I learned this year. I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
that's how that stuff happens. And if you know a little bit about it, you can learn a lot about it. So the duets have been really successful this year, I gotta say, because people can't sing side by side with other people right now. And so to
Yeah.
put faces side by side on the screen singing has been really, really emotionally impactful in ways that I had not anticipated.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's a great thing to like lean away from that question. Like how do you decide on a concept every week? I think leaning on collaboration sometimes where you might feel alone, reaching out to someone else that you kind of trust their creative spirit and allow it to kind of re-energize your own and use it as
Yeah.
fuel.
Yeah. And
Because you
pick the
might
fun
get three
ones.
other concepts out of some friends that you invite into your process.
Yeah. And pick fun friends,
Right.
pick
Only fun
lively
friends.
friends. Yeah. For a
Pick lively
show,
friends.
pick the lively
No,
friends.
definitely. Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
to mention one other thing on the singer plus concept I was talking about earlier, like to be a singer, and then what are your other skills? Singer plus an engineer, singer plus a piano player, singer plus a composer. Another skill that I've seen come in really handy for some of my friends this year is that they are a really good friend. And their network, their social network, I don't mean social media, but I mean in
Yeah.
terms of they are they know so many people and are friendly with so many people. They are a positive person and they can make collaborations happen. Those people have done really well this year because they have a network to call upon. So sometimes your special superpower, you're a singer and you have a big network of friends. That does a lot in
Mm.
musical theater, by the way, is people who know people who know people who know people. So to
Yeah.
be a singer plus a collaborator is
Totally.
that's a whole nother, that's a really
Absolutely.
valuable thing to be this year.
Yeah. I always say you want to treat everyone like they're your colleague for life, and then you have that kind of network where, you don't know who's going to come back into your orbit and how it can affect your career moving forward.
Yes, and you may think New York is like enormous and you will never see people again. In the music business, you will see people again. You
Totally.
really will see people
Oh
again.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So, yes, treat everyone like a colleague and like you're going to work with them again in 3 years.
Yeah.
Really? Because you might.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have another question from Charisse. Charisse, do you want to just come on the screen and ask this question? I feel funny with you being here and me reading your question because you're right there. You want to just ask your question? Yeah.
So, my question was, I remember you talking about creating your own platform. What kind of platform would you like suggest for someone who doesn't necessarily write their own music, or how can like me as an opera singer set myself apart from other opera singers, because it just seems like sometimes you're the small fish in this big never-ending pond, and it's like, I don't know, how would you navigate that?
So you help me understand a little bit. So you are studying voice and you sing opera.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then do you have a favorite type of material that you like to sing?
Well, right now my favorite like operas are, I'm working on a lot of Mozart and Strauss, and my favorite composer is actually Ricky Ian Gordon. So
Who's your favorite composer?
Ricky Ian Gordon, the composer
Ricky
of
Ian Gordon, the guy that
Yeah.
just, yeah. Is that
Yeah.
person alive? Is that guy, is that, I'm sorry, I don't know if that's a man or a woman. Is that person alive?
I think so, yeah.
Oh man, have you met this person?
No.
Number one, meet this person. They will be blown away by how you sing. And it's wonderful if you can find this person, you need to find this person. Go right there. That starts there. I think that's a loop you should close if you can, because that you'll always treasure that. One thing I've seen some people do is create, and we are going to get to the other side of this pandemic. We really are. I mean, it's coming. It feels like headlights, 2 miles, 10 miles away, but we're going to get there.
Once
One
we get
thing,
good enough at Zoom,
right? Exactly the minute.
it'll be over. Yeah.
Exactly the minute we master this technology, right? So one idea, Cherise, is I have a friend who created a salon in their own house, and the first Friday of every month they do a concert in their own house for whoever shows up. They have a potluck. Maybe it's 10 people, maybe it's 5, or maybe it's like 50. Right? In the summer, she does really well with turnout, and she just does this every month. And over time, everybody has figured out that she does this. And they get like, she just puts out a basket and there's the money. People just throw money in there. And through that, people are like, oh yeah, that's right. That's Cherise. She does the Friday thing. Oh yeah, I love her. Hey, we should get her for hey, we should introduce her to, right? If you create a routine, it helps people find you. And maybe you start by, maybe you make part of the dinner the first night. Maybe it's just, 4 people in your living room. But if you create that, it helps you to be ready to go no matter whatever shows up in your career. And it keeps you in the habit of giving a show. Plus, you make friends. And in New York, friends are they may wind up being somebody you work with 3 years from now. So that's an idea, is to create a platform that way. And you could also live stream it. And you can start live streaming now. I've seen people do it where the piano player is on the other side of the room with a mask on. Or you could put plexiglass across the middle of your room, right? But you just start doing that. Like, it's Ricky Ian Gordon on, every Tuesday with Ricky Ian Gordon. And you can have him on as a guest. I don't know if, I'm sorry, again, I don't know if this is a man or woman. You can have Ricky on as a guest and you split screen with Ricky. I'm crazy, I'm riffing. But right, the idea, right? You sing a song and then Ricky Ian Gordon says what just happened in that song and why that song does this certain thing. And then Ricky Ian Gordon plays the piano and explains, I'm riffing. But you see what I'm saying is to animate the material for now towards a camera. And then maybe it's human beings in the room. But you just starting it. Don't wait for somebody to call you and hire you for the Vienna Opera, because that's not happening right now, right? There's no Vienna Opera right now. But you creating your own platform, no matter how small, create it regularly, deliver for it, and it just starts to do this because you kept showing up. I know good things are going to come, Charisse. I know it. You got to have this. You got to have this every Sunday night, chili party at Charisse's. I just see it. Maybe it's sushi at Charisse's. I don't know what it is, but there's a thing.
Sushi, chili, and art songs. Totally.
Right.
Yeah. No, I love it. That's super helpful information. I mean, animating material, I think, is really what it's all about at the end of the day. It's like finding, even if you don't write your own music, finding music that speaks to the different music that you love and finding different narrative within groups of pieces that you love to sing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just keep doing it and you'll find what people respond to. I mean, maybe it gets too esoteric and you wander down and, you're doing Messiaen and there's bird noises and nobody understands why. And so your audience is like, tuning out and right. You'll find out what people who said success in the arts is finding the thing that you love doing that people will pay you to do. Finding the thing you love doing that people will pay you to do. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Boom. I love it. Yeah. Samantha, do you have any follow-up questions before we wrap up with Susan?
Well, actually, I was just more curious about how do you create a space for yourself to compose? Like, what is that? I know we went into it a little bit before, but I was curious as to some things that you do to keep yourself focused, because obviously writing a concept album doesn't happen really in a night. Like, what keeps you on track for that type of thing and straying away from different ideas? Because obviously, like, when you have an idea, it's very easy to bounce all over the place and it's hard to stay focused sometimes.
I love this question. That's a really astute question for a writer. Absolutely. So it's almost like it's just very obsessive listening. Once I determine the genre, I just listen to that. People are like, "Oh, Susan, what are you listening to?" They think you're a professional musician. You're like totally tuned in on the hottest, latest thing. No, I'm way down in this, right? For this moment of time, burrowing down, so dialing down, drilling down so hard on this one particular genre of music. And then everything is right. Here's the left gutter, here's the right gutter, and we're going bowling, right? You just stay between those two. And you may write something that falls outside of that. It'll reveal itself if you just make enough. Just make enough. Don't prejudge the content that you're cranking out. Just make a lot. And then it'll become apparent that this one thing you did that was an experiment, that maybe that's the whole project, or maybe that's so much of an elbow, as one producer friend of mine called it. He's like, that song's the elbow, right? That's too far out. So that we're going to lose that. Make a lot, and then you'll find which ones have a thread that belong together. And the key is to obsess during that period of time, listening only to country, or listening only to swing from the 1920s, or listening only to, right? That's a way to focus yourself. Only right, garbage in, garbage out, right? Treasures in, treasures out. So what you listen to is going to come back out in your writing. So to curtail what you listen to is part of being a writer, I think.
I love that. Yeah, I think the kind of hardcore research that goes into just what you love about music and trying to surround yourself with that all the time is so valuable,
It's
at least for
patterns.
me. Yeah, exactly.
It's just patterns and keeping the
Yeah.
patterns handy, right?
Yeah, and language, just a different, vernacular that you get used to. Um, Amazing. I It's been such an honor to have you, Susan. We really appreciate your time, and I was wondering if you would not mind just performing one more short piece for us, just to kind of wrap up the evening. It's been delightful to hear Charisse Roberts and Samantha Constantino, and to have this collaboration between the Kupferberg Center for the Arts and the Aaron Copland School of Music through this new series that's called In Focus. So, please follow us on social media, follow ACSM on social media, and really just kind of stay in touch as much as you can, because there's going to be a lot more where this came from. So over to you, Susan.
That was a great
Yeah.
closing paragraph.
Thank you. I actually did not write that one. That one was just coming out of my own.
That's
I think I was
amazing.
just made to be a radio DJ
You created
at
your own
one point.
content. Right there, you created your own content.
I know.
That's awesome.
I'm slowly getting better at it. 8 months into quarantine, it's
Um,
finally getting it.
well, I'll close with another song from 8 Unnecessary Songs. This really is a song that the world didn't need. And well, here we go. Our evening together was magic. We had dinner and wine. You said your place or mine. We woke up the next day in your bedroom. We had coffee and laughed. And a few minutes after, you said, maybe it's time you meet Fred, my Polish lowland sheepdog. And then Fred, he jumped up on the bed. And as I petted Fred on the head, you kissed your dog on the mouth. That's when it all went south. That's when my feet hit the floor and I walked out your door, for I could not unsee what I'd seen when you smooched your pooch and put your lips on his. That wasn't, that is the end. But you followed me out to my Camry. You said, what's the big deal? You said, Fred, sit, Fred, heel. You said, dogs' mouths are cleaner than humans. I said, I have my doubts because dogs put their snouts in their ass and eat crap they find in the grass. And that's how they get hookworms. And you cried and you got all upset. And I tried, but I could not forget. You kissed your dog on the mouth. That's when it all went south. That's when my feet hit the floor and I walked out your door, for I could not unsee what I'd seen when you smooched your pooch and put your lips on his. That was and that is the end. And I'll wonder right up to the day of my death about that slight hint of kibbles and bits on your breath. You kissed your... Sing it, Charisse. Oh, sing it, Samantha. Your dog on the mouth. That's when it all went south. That's when my feet hit the floor and I walked out your door, for I could not unsee what I'd seen when you smooched your pooch and put your lips on his. That was and that is the end. Thank you. Thank you, Kupferberg
Yeah.
Center. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Susan Werner. One more round of applause. I need a keyboard with that sound, with the applause sound. I don't know why I don't have that. I need that.
You need that. You
Where's
need
my
it.
sound guy? I
You
need it.
need that. It completes the
Yes,
evening. Yep.
exactly. So thank you all, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks you for joining us. Thanks, Susan. Have a
Thanks.
great night.